doing, plant fam? Kojo here. Alright, y'all, so you saw my Philodendron subhastatum in my office plants video, which I'll try to do the link thing up here so you can see it, but things were going really well until they weren't. She's been neglected and rejected, but the real problem is I overcorrected the whole situation. I was underwatering this thing, leaving it for way too long, and then I started overwatering it. So she has just been through it, and tonight I'm going to show you how I rescue plants that I've just messed them up way too bad. I'd say the most important rule when you are trying to rescue a plant or things aren't going right, don't stress out about it. It's not worth it for real. Like, out of all of my living blessings, the plants I would want to go first out of anything. So if they go, it's cool. I can always get another one. And I never buy a plant that's so expensive that I would just be out of control if I lost it. You know what I mean? So that's first and foremost. Secondly, I always stack the deck. So I have some really good, thick, happy leaves on the top, and then down here at the bottom is where we're starting to have the problems, legit problems. And then if you look at this guy over here, like, he is legit right here, like, for real. Completely gone. So there's still roots in here, and I'm not even going to check them out. And then this one, you can see how thick he is, and I think part of the problem is I underwatered, then overwatered, and I didn't stake him, so he kind of uprooted a little bit. So that's the full lowdown on this girl. And I'm always going to be looking at the plant, so I'm sorry I'm not looking at y'all, but hi, missed you. Alright, so here's my first dude, and I'm leaving his roots in there. I'm going to leave the roots in there, and I'm going to try to save that. So I'm all about stacking the deck. This guy right here has, let me show you all. See how he has really nice right here, and then down here is, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 growth points that are potentially gonna go. So I'll set them here for now, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do with this dude. So we have a new growth point that's gonna put out a new leaf here, and then I got this leaf, which is super happy, super firm, and I'm gonna just take my little surgical cutters and go right underneath this one. So I'm going to give him those two. He has his new growth point, which this very well may not do anything because he has to sort of recover. But you can see I got some nice aerial roots starting there. And then here's my leaf with my red bottom. Alright. So we're still nice and thickums here. So I'm going to go ahead and prop it again right in the middle here, because this is a nice big leaf, and if you think about this being your bottom leaf on your plant and your plant starting that thick, it's going to be a really happy big plant. So I'm not too upset about it. Alright, so now we're starting to get into the damaged leaves that we're probably going to lose these leaves, but I do not care. So I'm actually going to leave this one leaf on the main. Actually, I think I'm going to leave these two. Alright, I'll show you all. I'm going to chop it down almost to the base. At this point, I'm not worried about the third of the plant rule or anything like that. If this part dies, I have some good clippings to keep my plant going. So this one I gave 2 growth points, and this leaf is so messed up. I'm just going to keep the bottom leaf on it and cut off the top one. So I'll put both of these underwater and we'll see where we're going to get roots. And then this is what's left. First of all, there's just roots here for this one, And then this dude has a little bit of happiness on the top. And when I say stack the deck, I mean we're gonna keep these in here and we're gonna water them just like we're supposed to, which is let it dry out between waterings, but don't let it sit dry. And that was my problem. I was letting it sit dry, and then when I realized what I was doing, I overwatered it way too much and it just kind of went into shock. Okay, just 1 second. All right, I got my water jar, and now all we're gonna do is just make a pretty little bouquet. First of all, this one without any sort of a leaf can still be alive and live, so do not get rid of that. And then just stick your guys down in there. I like to cover as many of the aerial roots as I can, the little guys, because sometimes you will get multiple levels of roots, which also helps your vine to get more growth points out of it. At least that's what I found. You'll have to let me know if that's what you found too. And then here's our last one here. So out of those 2 plants, the one was dead at the bottom. I got 1 cutting off of that, and then I got 3 more off of the big guy. It's really that easy. I'm gonna put this in some bright indirect sunlight, windowsill light, old school. And here I just did a
Schmody what?
Here I just did a Florida ghost prop, and Dakota's going cuckoo nuts. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Kojo's Tropicals.